Hi guys, welcome back to my new channel. I deleted my Facebook channel about, I think it was like 2 months ago, I'm not sure, and where I discussed all the body symptoms that people are going through with the Mandela effect and the changes in frequency, whatever you want to call it. I deleted that channel because I felt like I needed to step away from it for a while because it was a lot, and I'm an empath. So for me, I pick up on people's energy and people that were commenting and stuff like that. And I could feel their pain and their worry. And it was a lot for me and I needed to step away and I closed that account. So in doing that, most of you followed me to Facebook and somehow found me on Facebook. And I've just been getting an overwhelming amount of messages about your concerns and the way you've been feeling and the things that you guys are going through. And I answer every one of them. And there are times when I don't sleep at night and I find myself up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just texting people from all over the place in different parts of the world. It's such a big time change, but, and I thought it was time to make another channel because doing it that way is almost impossible. I can't give people, the attention that I really want to because it's so difficult to go back and forth in text, and I hate it. And my phone doesn't understand my accents, so it's always like autocorrect, whatever. That's another story. Um, so if you found me, I'm glad you found me again. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this channel, okay, but I'm going to do the best I can to keep it as long as possible. And I want to get into I want to get into we call the Mandela effect symptoms, frequency wave shifts, symptoms that people have been going through, including myself, in the last couple of months. Okay, since my last video, there's just so many of them. I don't even know where to start. And usually I write these things down and I go in order, but I didn't do that this time, so I'm just gonna wing it. You know. Um, the thing that's been happening a lot, and I have to get through this without getting emotional because not only am I experiencing it, but I feel it coming from everybody who's been reaching out to me. And I just want to hug everyone and feel like it's okay, even though for myself, it's not okay, but I know what they're going through because I'm feeling it, but I just wish that I could be there for everyone and personally, be there and hold them and make them feel better. But anyway, one of the things that have been going on lately is depression. It's not even, well, let me explain it a different way. It's not so much depression. Those of you who've suffered from depression before and are going through this kind of depression, it's a completely different thing. Okay, it's more of no matter where you are or what you're doing, you're preoccupied. You get this wave of sadness just come through your body so bad, and you just start crying. You have no right. You have no idea why. You just start crying, and it hurts so much that it feels like you're mourning something. You're like you're just mourning something, and you don't know what it is, and it comes and goes. It comes and goes throughout the day, and it knocks you on your ass. Not only that, but it's making people physically, besides mentally, exhausted, where they find themselves sleeping as much as possible. You know, People even falling asleep on their jobs because they can't keep their eyes open. No rhyme, no reason. I mean, there's nothing. You can't even, like, when these waves come over you, you can't even. analyze one to see what it is you're upset about, because there's no reason to be upset. You're just not. You could be driving, listening to music, sitting at the beach, laughing with your friends, and it just, boom, it just comes over you. Unless you're able to see what the underlying, thing is, then that's a completely different video. But when it's for no reason, no rhyme, no reason, it's kind of scary, and people don't know what to do with it. They just don't know what to do with this. They, I'm sorry. It's hard for them to be around family, to be around friends, and do things that they once did that made them happy. And I'm sorry, I get a little emotional because, like I said, I'm actually, I know the feeling because I'm going through it myself. So I feel your pain. You just don't want to be around friends. You don't really feel that you connect with the people that you once loved. I'm not saying that you don't love them anymore. You still love them, but you feel like one girl put it, you just feel like the crazy one out of the group, or yeah, like the nut out of the group. You just don't relate to simple conversations that you used to have. You talk about shopping, or you talk about men, and you're not there. You're in your own world. And this has been going on for about a month. For me, it subsided about 2 days now. I'm still getting it, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I'll tell you what is bad, though. Okay, and those of you who've never seen me before, I mean, I have bags under my eyes because literally I'm not sleeping. But what's bad is a lot of people have been saying that they have this anxiety that they've never felt before, and not so much panic attacks, not panic attacks, just mad anxiety where they feel like they just want to, like, book the hell out of their own skin. They just want to run, and they can't shut it off. I spoke about this in other videos, and it was pretty intense. But this is something like, there is no words in the human language to explain, and this especially for empaths, we are feeling it in a million different ways, a million different directions. I don't know if we're actually tapping into the other, how do you put this? The other ones, or the other selves, our other selves. Okay, sorry, I didn't have my coffee yet. Our other selves in different realities, maybe all that emotion from all our other selves are just kind of colliding into this one consciousness that's in this body. Maybe in those realities we are the bots, and we are actually just conscious in this one body. So empaths are kind of getting it from everywhere, and the rest are just getting it just as bad. Okay. It's a feeling of, like I said, there's no words. Like, I don't drink caffeine. Once in a while I do because I'm usually hyper as it is. But it's like having 50 cups of coffee with 10 turbo shots. And you're seriously, like, you feel your eyes popping out of your head. For me, it's so intense that I get lockjaw. And I got this thing where I grind so bad that I actually crack my teeth. But it has been horrific. I wouldn't I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And it's not, there is no chitter chatter in your head. There's no confusion. It's more of a fight flight kind of thing you just gotta book, and no matter what you do, it just doesn't work. And for me, my outlet is usually running. I'll go to the gym, I'll run on a treadmill, or I'll just run, around the neighborhood. And let me tell you something. I've been doing that lately, and it's not enough. I did so much of it yesterday that because I couldn't shut it off, that I felt like when I was standing up, like everything was out. I was actually going backwards. I was just going backwards. And my son's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I need to keep going. I need to keep going." And I just couldn't sit down because that wasn't an option. I couldn't. And I know that a lot of you are relating to this because the messages are just, like I said, overwhelming. Um, Another thing that I've spoke about before on other videos, is the synchronicities. People you haven't thought about in years, just pop into your mind, and within a 24-hour period, you run into them. And it's not one occurrence, once a week. It's more like 5, 10 a day. You're thinking of a song that comes on. You're thinking of a person. There's the person. You're thinking of somebody's going to call. Somebody calls. You think it happens more than not. That's just it. My day would not feel at this point normal if the whole day wasn't synchronicities and coincidences, which I don't believe in, but I don't know another word to call it, and maybe intuitiveness. I don't know. But then if you look into the intuitiveness, then you look into a whole different kind of topic, like how are we perceiving something that's going to happen. We're not even going to get into that because that's for another video. Trust me. Um, yeah, so that's been happening a lot. Um, Another thing I've spoke about, and at the time I only knew a handful of people that were going through it. And I wish I could show you without, I don't want to do that to people with their privacy. I wish I could show you the messages I got on. I spoke about something. The best way I explained it on the video was a life review. You go through this whole life review. This is not working for me no more. I'm letting go of this person, letting go of this situation. I'm not going to stress about this whole life review. And you go through this depression, like, like, what did I do with my life? And I don't want to continue doing it. I want to do different things. I want to do things that serve me, that make me happy. And people are starting to go through that now by the truckloads. And it is, I went through it a while ago. It is so intense. It's so intense because you basically look at your own life. It's not that you beat yourself up. It's kind of like a blessing in a way, because you're looking at things that don't work for you anymore, and you're able to pinpoint them to the T and go, I'm getting rid of that and I'm changing that. And this does not work for me no more. And you don't care who understands, who you leave behind. You don't fucking care. You just care about you. You care. And I'm not saying in a selfish way, but those that do understand you and stuff like that, you're not like that with them. It's the other people, the other situations that caused you unhappiness. You're just letting it go. Something doesn't work anymore. You're done fucking trying. Just walking away. Just walking away because you have a sense in you that everything will work out all right. It's a new path opening up and everything will work out all right. And I'm going to tell you something. For those that experienced it when I did, if you're watching, any of you guys watching this video, I would love if you commented to help other people out and tell them that it actually is another path opening up. And it's a good one. It's such a good one, because the people that never cared, that you always try to please, or you always, whatever, they're gone. They're not even in your life anymore. You don't even care about them anymore. You just care about you. You start going for walks in the park and you start taking time out for yourself and, watching your favorite movie. Or like I told a friend of mine the other day, go buy yourself your favorite color lipstick, you know? You start doing things for yourself. And even if you don't have time to do these things, you find yourself sitting in a quiet place, a quiet spot in your house or wherever you are, even in your car when you pull into your garage. You just sit there and the silence is beautiful. But like I said, those that are starting to go through it now, please do not be scared. Look at everything. Look at everything that doesn't serve you anymore. It just drains you, and get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Don't say, this is why I'm going to get rid of it. Oh, and if they say this and they wonder where I went, I'm going to have to come. No, nothing. Nothing. Do not create a scenario, because you will create the experience. Create the experience of them just disappearing completely. And the way you do that is by not giving it that much thought. This is what I'm going to do. Don't care what anybody thinks. Don't care what Sally, what Steve, don't matter. Nothing. I'm going to do for me. And if somebody doesn't like it, oh well. Okay. So basically, yeah, and that's what that's what you need to do. And find the blah, 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 and find the time to just be still. There is a lot of shifting going on. I know. I mean, I have contact. I have friends that are scientists. I have friends all around the world that I talk to and discuss, like the quantum entanglement and the frequency waves and the shifting and all this stuff. And for the most part, a lot of them say the same thing, that we shift like every millisecond or whatever it is. And perhaps that's true. I don't know. But what I do, because we don't feel it, so we don't know. But what I do know is that sometimes we get a jolt. We get a tremendous shift to where you wake up in the morning and there are so many differences. Like I said, different houses and different trees that were never there, and people's personalities are completely changed. And sometimes your appearance even looks different to yourself. Okay. So those are like major jolts. And when that happens, it takes our body time to get used to that jolt. And with that, you'll experience complete exhaustion, but not being able to sleep, no appetite, kind of a surreal feeling when you look around at your surroundings, just a surreal feeling, dream state. Like some have said that the dream state feels more real than the awake state. And that's like I said, when we get jolted into shifting too quickly. And by the time our bodies start to adjust and our minds start to adjust, not digest, our minds start to adjust to that shift, and we get that calmness and that stillness in us, once again, we get slammed. Boom. All over again. It's like you wake up in the morning, you wake up with a headache, you wake up with confusion, with this feeling like, I got to do something, I got to go somewhere, I got to do something, but you have no fucking clue what you got to do. There's nothing that you have to do, but you feel like you have to do something. You have to hurry up and do it, although you don't know what it is that you got to do. So you rush in to take a shower, you rush in to get dressed, you rush in to go out, you go in your car and like, where am I going? It's just that, that we shifted, and like I said, for me, I know every time. I've dealt with this my whole life, and I never really had a name for it. And I guess they call it the Mandela effect or timeline shifts or whatever. But it has a very big impact on me, very very big impact on me. Yeah, and I'll notice the changes in people, my surroundings. For instance, this happened to me quite a few times and I hate it, but like yesterday I was driving somewhere down the same road I always, there's only one road out of my block, out of my neighborhood here, and I, I ripped my sunglasses off. I was like, what the fuck? And I kept blinking my eyes, and my son was sitting in the passenger seat. He goes, what's wrong? He says, you have tunnel vision? And I was like, no. I said, I don't know where the fuck I am right now. Nothing looks familiar. Nothing looks familiar to me. So he goes, yeah, he goes, the sidewalks do look kind of weird. Like it looks like the grass is all the way pushed up to the street. He says, they must have just did that. I was like, when? In the last 3 hours they did that? We were out a few hours ago. But you lose all conception, like all your bearings about where you are, because nothing in your brain looks familiar. Like, your ego is your navigator, basically, and the brain and the ego work together. And if your brain is not comprehending that code, that familiar code that your brain is used to, no, that's your street. There's your code for your street, and your brain goes, oh, I know where I am because that's the code. And if your brain ain't understanding that code, you ain't gonna know where the hell you are. And it is the scariest feeling. But I learned, because it's happened so much to me, especially recently, I've learned not to fear it anymore. So I kind of just close my eyes and I'm like, okay, I don't know where I am, but it'll come to me. And if I don't, I'm on autopilot. So I still know where my destination, where I am going, but I'm not really sure how I'm getting there because I don't know the blocks. The streets don't look familiar. So I set myself on autopilot to get there. And that's exactly what I did. That's what I've been doing. And I did that yesterday. And then it all comes back to me. So I get rid of the panic and I actually embrace it. I embrace it because I know that things are still changing. And to me, that's a comfort. I'm looking forward to things becoming better, and, you know, tapping into that frequency where my reality is perfect for me, you know. All right, I think I said enough in this video. I don't want to take up everybody's time too much. So yeah, so those that are going through that, just know that you're definitely not alone. If you leave a comment, I will do the best I can to get back. I usually do get back to everybody the best I can. And hang tight. I don't think that this is something that's just going to stop like that. And like I said, you're going to wake up and you're going to be in fucking, fairyland, like the Wizard of Oz or some shit. And, little levels everywhere, munchkins, whatever the hell they are. I don't think this is it. I think each time you're aware of it, and the more that all this stuff is happening to you, your body's changing. And more importantly than your body, your brain is, your mind is, your ego is starting to accept and learning that you are not who you see in the mirror. Although the ego wants to think, I am a person, right? I'm my own person. It gets scared, and it's a lot to comprehend. It's a lot to take in, to think, wow, there's more to this, and I'm just your vehicle. What's going to get you around to experience this reality, and I'm going to be the one that shows you the experience of hate, love, anger, sadness, happiness, all of it. So this way, your soul can create its identity. And that's for another video. I'll get into that. But anyway, for those of you that found me again, blessings. And those of you for the first time, blessings to you too. And I hope that this helped. And I will do my best to put out a video once a week and touch base with everybody. And yeah, and that's it. So blessings to everybody. Take care, and I will see you back here soon.